Hello, welcome to Decision Science session, and today we are going to see some special cases in transportation problems. Okay, today's problem is based on unbalanced problems, and we'll see how to solve such problems. Let us take an example. We have four petrol dealers A, B, and C and D, which requires 50, 40, 60 and 40 kiloliters of petrol respectively. It is possible to supply this from three locations X, Y and Z, which have 80, 100 and 50 kiloliters respectively. The cost in rupees for shipping each kiloliter is shown in the table below. Now this is your table which is given to you, and these are the costs. So from location X to dealer A, the cost per kiloliter is 7 rupees. Okay. What are we supposed to solve? We have to determine the most economical supply pattern for the company and identify an alternate plan if any. Now to solve this problem, the first thing we have to do is check the supply and the total demand. So we'll write the total demand here. Total demand is equal to, what is the demand? We have here 50 plus 40. So 50 plus 40, we are going to write it here. 50 plus 40 plus 60 plus 40, which is 190 KL. Okay. And what is the total supply? The total supply from location X, Y and Z is 80, 100 and 50. So this will be 80 plus 100 plus 50, which gives you 230 KL. Okay. Now because the total demand is not equal to your total supply, it is a unbalanced problem. Now to balance such type of a problem, what is the extra supply which we have, which is 230 minus 190, that is 40 KL. So we have to create a dummy dealer, let us say E, okay, and assign 40 as its demand. Clear? The cost per liter in case of the dummy dealer will be 0. So let us write this matrix. I have already written it here. Okay. Here you can see I have added a dummy dealer by the name E. Okay. And the cost which we have added is 0, and the demand will be 40. The total will be 230. So total demand and total supply is now balanced. Now I will be using the Vogel's approximation method to solve this transportation problem. Okay, for which I need to calculate my penalties. To calculate the penalties, I have to use the two minimum cost in the first row. So because in all the rows I have zeros, okay, we have to just make use of the minimum. 6 is the minimum value. So 6 minus 0 will give me first penalty as 6. Next one, least value 0 and 5. So 5 minus 0 gives me 5. 0 and 5 again. So 5 minus 0 gives me 5 here. Okay. The penalties in each column. So we have 7, we have 5 and 8. So 5 and 7, the minimum values, the two least values. So 7 minus 5 will give me 2. The next one is 5 and 6, which will give me 1. Next we have least value 6 and 6, so 0 penalty here. Okay, and again we have 6 and 6, so 0 penalty here, and this will be also 0. Fine. From this we have to search for the maximum penalty. Maximum penalty is 6 here, so I'll make the allocations in this row first. Okay, to do the allocations I have to first search for the least cost. Least cost is 0 in this row. Okay, check the supply and the demand. Demand is 40, supply is 80, minimum is 40, so I will assign 40 here. Subtract 40 from this, I'll get 0. Subtract 40 from supply, I'll get the remaining 40. No more allocations in these two cells. Okay, now because this column has been allocated and completed, we need to calculate the penalties again. Okay, I'll just put a comma here and do the next calculation. 6 and 6 are the two values, so penalty is 0. Next one, 5 and 6, penalty is 1. 5 and 6 again, penalty is 1 here. Now for this columns the penalties will not change, so I'll just put the values again 2, 1, 0 and 0, and this is already over. Okay, which is the maximum penalties? I'll just cross this out. So this is done. Right, 0, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0. Maximum is 2, so this will be my second allocations. Okay, so in this column A, I'll do the allocation. The minimum cost is 5 here. We have 100 in supply, 50 in demand. Minimum is 50, so 50 will be assigned here. Subtract 50 from this, subtract 50 from here, I get 50 remaining. Put the crosses in the cell so that there is no allocation there. Okay. Once this is done, again calculate the next penalties. These penalties remain as it is. So this is 1, this is 0, this is also 0. But these penalties will change. We have 6 here, so no change here, 6. We have 6 and 7, so this is also 1. And here we have 5, 6, so this will be also 1. Okay. Now if you look at the new penalties, we have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So there is a tie. So we have 3 ties here, 1, 2 and 3. If I do the allocation in this row, which is the minimum cost 6, if it's this one it is 5, okay, and even in this case it is 5. So I should go for the minimum cost here. Okay, so I will do the allocation in this cell. So this is my third allocation, and this is my cell where I will be doing the allocation. We have 50 in supply, 40 in demand. I'll assign 40, cancel this out, this becomes 0, 10 remains here. Okay. Next, again do the calculation for the penalties. This is 0 penalty, 1, this time this is 2 here. Okay, there is no change in this one, neither there is any change here. Maximum is 2, so my next allocation will happen here. So this is my fourth allocation. Okay, minimum cost is 6, so allocation should happen here in this cell. 10 is my supply remaining and demand is 40, so 10 will come here. This becomes 0. I'll put a cross here. Subtract 10 from 40, I get 30 as the remaining demand. Okay, so if you look at the calculations again. This row has been completed. Which is remaining? We have 1, 2, 3 and 4 cells remaining. The penalty in this is 0 again. Okay, so 0 penalty and 1 penalty. Here we have 0 penalty and here we have 1 penalty. Okay, so again there is a tie between these two. The maximum penalty is 1. So let us check the least cost. Least cost, you can see if I do it in this cell, this cell where we have 1 maximum, we have 6 as the minimum cost. Whereas if you do it in this cell, again we have 6 as the minimum cost. Now both the cells have the same cost. There is a tie in the cost again. So we are going to check how many units I can assign. If I assign here, I can assign 30 units, minimum is 30. Whereas if I have to assign in this cell, we have 50 units here, 60 units, so I can assign 50 units here. So maximum 50 units can be assigned in this cell. So I will go for the assignment in this cell. So this is my next assignment, 50 and 60. So I'll assign 50 here. Okay, put across, this becomes 0 minus 50 from here, 10 is remaining. Okay, now we have only 2 cells left and in each column we have one cell. So directly you can do the assignment, assign 10 here. Okay, this becomes 0 and we can subtract 10 from here. Okay, so this is 30 and the 30 remaining I can assign here. 30, cancel this. So this becomes my allocations. Let us count the number of allocated cells. We have 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So allocated cells equal to 7, which is equal to how many rows we have? 1, 2, 3 plus we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So 3 plus 5 gives you 8, 8 minus 1. So m plus n minus 1 is also 7. So we have come to an initial optimum solution. Okay. Once we get this initial optimum solution, we are going to make use of the Modi method to find optimum solution. Okay, to find the optimum solution. So I will write this. I have the matrix drawn here and I am going to put the values which I had got from the initial assignment. So this was 10. Okay, I got 30 and 40 here. Then we got a 50 units assigned. In C we got 150 units assigned. Okay, then for Z we have in B 40. Here we have 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 as the assignments. Okay. Now what is your Modi method? It is a method used to find the optimum solution, and the first step in this method is to find the row numbers and the column numbers. What is the formula to find the row numbers and the column numbers? We have the formula Cij equal to Ui plus Vj. Okay, so making use of this formula, I will be calculating the values for the rows and the columns. This is my U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. Okay, I have the maximum allocated cell in one of the rows here. So I can directly assign U0 or u1 as 0. Okay, so let us assign 0 here, and now make use of this formula for the occupied cells to calculate the values of the other variables v1, v2, v3, v4, v5 and u2 and u3. So here you can see we have one allocated cell here. So if I use the cost is 0 here, so even v5 will be 0. So u1 0 plus v5 is equal to this cost, which is c 1 5 1 1. Okay, 1 5, sorry, not 1 1, 1 5. Next one, we have 0 here, this is allocated, so I can 0 plus v4 will be equal to 6, so this is 6. Similarly, this is also 6. Okay, now because I have got a 6 here and we have an allocated cell here, I can find the value of u2. Okay, u2 plus 6 should give me 6. That means the value of u2 is 0. Got it? Next, I will check whether I get the other number here. Here we have, so this will be 5. 0 plus 5 gives you 5. Okay, any other number that can be found, we have u3, we have your allocated cell, so this will be 0 again. So 0 plus 6 will give me 6, and if this is 0, this will be 5 because we have a allocation here. So we have u3, that is 0 plus 5 equal to 5, and this is how we find all the values of u's and v's. Once we find this, the next step is to find the opportunity cost for the unoccupied cells. Okay, so we have these unoccupied cells and we are going to quickly find the values of the unoccupied cells by using the formula Cij bar equal to Cij minus Ui plus Vj. Okay, for this example, let us do the calculation for each of them. For the first cell, I'll draw a line, I'll put the values here itself. We have C11 bar. So for 1 1, that is your XA, cost is 7 minus into bracket 0 plus 5, which gives you 2. Okay, then for C12, we have 6 minus 0 plus 5, that is 5, which is equal to 1. Okay, the next one is C22. So C22, 7 minus 5, 7 minus 5 gives you 2. Next is C23, sorry, 24, 1 2 3 4, this 24. We have 7 minus 6, which is 1, and C25 is 5, this one, equal to 0 minus 0, which is a 0. Next is C31, we have 8 minus 0 plus 5, that is 3. Okay, then we have C33, which is 8 minus 6, that is 2, and finally 35, which is equal to 0 minus 0, that is 0. Okay. Now as you can see, all the opportunity cost are positive. Okay. That means this solution, the initial solution which we have got, is the optimum solution. But if you look at the values here, we have two such opportunity costs which are zeros. That means we have multiple solution here. So even if I make some assignments in C25, okay, the cell C25, 2 and 5, that is under EYE or under ZE. Okay, so even if I make some assignments here, there won't be any change in my optimum solution. Clear? Now let us do the calculation and find out what is the total cost for this solution, and then we'll also look at the alternate solution. What is the total cost? Total cost is now equal to, let us check the first one, we have 10 assigned there. So we have 10 into 6 plus 30 into 6 plus 40 into 0 plus 50 into 5 plus 50 into 6 plus 40 into 5 and 10 into 6, which is coming to 1050. That is the total cost for this transportation problem. Now to get the alternate solution, what I can do is I will quickly draw the transportation problem again, okay, and find the alternate solution so that we can have the second solution or the alternate plan. Okay, let us write this: A, B, C, D, E for your dummy one, and S for supply. I'll put X, Y, Z, and the demand D. Okay. Now we are finding the alternate solution for this problem. I'll put the cost here: 7, 6, 6, 6, all zeros for your dummy cells, 5 and 8, 7 is 5, 6 and 8, 7 and 6. The demands, I'll put it here: 50, 40, 60, 40 and 40. The supplies were 80, 100 and 50, and as per the solution which we had got was, we had got 10 here, okay, 30 and 40 here, then we got 50, 50 here again, okay, and in the next row we got 40 here and 10 here. This was my solution, and we had got 0 in two cells here. C25 was 0, C25 bar you can call it, and C35 bar, which is your opportunity cost for the two cells, was 0. So I can do one allocation. Let us consider one of them, 35. I'll take 35 and consider this cell. Okay. Now, if I want to assign some value here, what is the first step to do? To draw a closed circuit or a loop. To draw the loop, remember, I can draw horizontal vertical lines and I can turn only from the cell which is occupied. So, from here I will go up, then turn this side, it's an allocated cell here, okay, come down here further and then go back here, okay. So, this becomes my circuit. Put a plus sign in the first cell where I have to do the allocation, subtraction in the alternate one, so minus, plus, minus again, okay. Now, look at the cell where we have put the minus signs, the subtraction signs, where we have unit 40 and here we have 10. Which is the least value? 10. That means I can add 10 units in this cell, fine. So, quickly I will write this down again here, A, B, C, D, E and supply, X, Y, Z and demand. Okay. Now, this was 7, 6, 6, 10 remains here, okay. In the next cell, you can see this, here I have a plus sign, so I have to add 10 here, okay, because least value we have got is 10 compared to 10 and 40, so I will add 10, so this will become 40, minus 10 from 40 which will give me 30 here, fine. This 50 remains as it is, no change here, 7, 50, 6, okay, there is no change here, no value as well, fine, 0 as it is. The last one we have 8 here, 40 units, fine, okay. Now, here we are going to subtract 10 from this cell, so no allocations here now. So, I will not write any number and I am going to add 10 here. So, I will assign value 10 here, this 0. Supply was 80, 100, 50, demands were 50, 40, 60, 40 and 40. Let us check whether it is my optimum solution. Okay, by doing the calculation. Now, number of allocated cell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, it is a feasible solution. Okay, and let us check what the total will be. So, total cost equal to 10 into 6 plus 40 into 6 plus 30 into 0 plus 50 into 5 plus 50 into 6 plus 40 into 5 and plus 10 into 0. Now, if you look at the calculation, this is also multiplied by 0, this is multiplied by 0, okay. And previously also we had in this solution 40 multiplied by 0. The rest of the values remain unchanged. So, this total is also 1050, okay. So, if you look at this problem here, we have got two different solutions, okay. And in some cases like X will have a dummy supplier, a dealer, dummy dealer, and in the second solution we will have X, a dummy, plus we will also have Z or Z, which will have a dummy supplier, a dealer, which will give me 10 kiloliters. Okay, so these are your dummy values which are not to be considered in your final calculations. I hope you have understood the problem. Please go through the solution once again and try to understand each step one by one. Thank you.